So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited. I know that there are so many different things going on. I have a lot going on and I'm trying something new. So, I'm actually live streaming, not just on YouTube as everyone's used to me doing, but I'm also live streaming on TikTok for the first time, for the second time now. So, we're going to pray that all goes well. And I thank you all for supporting me and for showing up today. We have so much that we're going to go over, and I'm going to stop the music now so that we can focus and concentrate because we have a lot of information that's about to come forth. And I want to make sure that we are not just getting the information, but that we are actually learning something. So get your notepad and pen if you're able. If you're driving, just simply know that you can reach out or DM me so that you can come back and get the link for my YouTube channel so you'll have access to this information. That is absolutely important at all times for us to have access to information. And these little phones in our hands, if they do nothing else, they give us tons of access to tons of information, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And as I'm setting the atmosphere, I just kind of want to let you all know what we're going to be talking about today. Now, I generally said it's going to be us getting the truths, that a lot of people don't know or that we may know. It's one thing to know something, it's another thing to have a full understanding about it, right? But we're going to talk about menopause. That's my topic, that's my area of expertise because unfortunately, I've been in it for a very long time. I'll tell you a little bit about that story in just a moment. But let us just sort of prepare our hearts and minds. So, everyone, thank you for joining me. I'm Shantell Smith. My company is Training for Life, and we are going to spend just a little bit of time together this Saturday learning about menopause. We're going to learn about the things that we forget about. We're going to learn about a little bit more in depth about what we need to focus on as we grow through this process. And it is a process because you have to think about it. The average woman starts experiencing symptoms by the time she's in her mid 30s. She may not go into full fledged menopause until her mid 40s, sometimes early 50s, but she's experiencing symptoms as early as her mid 30s. So, now, with that being said, and forgive me for those of you on TikTok, I want you to join in. And please, by all means, if you can switch over to YouTube, that's fine. If not, don't worry about it. I forgot to post it in there. I told you I'm learning. But what I can do is this. I will go back and look and try to answer some of the questions after I do the teaching, okay? That way, no one will feel left out, right? So now, first, I want to thank you all for choosing to spend your Saturday with me, right? No matter how much time you stay, thank you for joining me. But whether this is your first time joining me or you've been joining me throughout this journey, I want to welcome you all to Training for Life family. Today, we are talking about something that has affected millions upon millions upon millions of women. Yet, very few of us were ever taught about it. Puberty came and there was a conversation, right? You got all kind of tips and tools and all kind of things to do, right? Pregnancy came with books, right? All the knowledge that was passed down from grandmama, from big mama, from great grandmama, from all those, right? But menopause. Most women are handed a fan and told good luck. And that's pretty much what we got, right? So today we're changing that. Today, our goal is just to educate you, right? My goal is always to help you to understand your body, to understand how you don't have to stop living. You don't have to stop fighting to have a normal life. But we're actually in a fight now. And this is not something that we've chosen. This is something that happens. And so this is a time even where we need to include our partners in what's going on in our body, what we're experiencing, so that they can understand what we're enduring and how they can help us in this journey as we begin to heal our mindset around menopause, heal our emotions around menopause, right? even heal how we're perceived during menopause. So I first want to just set the atmosphere. For those of you who are not spiritual or religious, then please know and understand this is nothing against you, but this is just how I roll. Okay. So I'm going to always thank the Father. So, Father, I just want to thank you for the women who are joining me today, those who will listen to the recording, those who are here in person. I want to thank you because you've created each and every one of our bodies with wisdom and with a purpose. Open our hearts, renew our minds, calm our nervous systems, and remind us that healing is possible. Give us wisdom to care for ourselves, these temples that you've blessed us with, and that you've entrusted us to take care of. We thank you. And we thank you for the opportunity to learn and grow together. And it's in your name. And since we're not closing out, we're going to say, and it is so. So I always like to start off with just a verse, and it doesn't have to be something, super spiritual, but Matthew 11:28 says this in the Amplified Classic. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden and overburdened, and I will cause you to rest. Now, that's out of Amplified Classic. But here, you were never invited into burnout. You were invited into rest. I often wonder, why did he invite us into rest, though, right? Because it implies that he knew as women, we would overextend ourselves. We would run our lives, right? We would be there for our children. We would be there for our husbands. We would be there for our parents. We would be there for our in-laws, our outlaws, our ex-laws. We would be there for our friends. We would be there for our neighbors, right? We would be everything for everybody else, and we put ourselves on the back burner. So we're invited into rest. How many of us have felt guilty just for feeling like we need to take a day and rest? I can raise my hand, throw a leg up, all for that, because it is ingrained in us that we're supposed to be the strongest. We're supposed to hold it together, right? We're not supposed to need rest. Even if we're sick, in our sickness, we're still supposed to make sure that the family is taken care of. The food is made, the house is clean, the kids got off to school, right? They made it to their after school activities. It's summertime now. Even if we catch allergies really bad, we're still supposed to put some drops in our eyes, take some antihistamines, and keep it moving, right? But how many of you have learned that rest is vital? Rest is imperative. Rest is something that we need and we have to normalize. It means that we were not created to be in survival mode. We were created to thrive. So I'm going to tell you my story really quickly. Many people see me today and they assume that I've always known what I know and that I've always kept it together, right? But that couldn't be the furthest from the truth. I experienced a partial hysterectomy at 31 years old. So that meant I was medically entered into menopause at 31. I skipped over peri and went straight into menopause because there was a drastic drop in my estrogen production, because even 2 years after that, I had to have my right ovary and fallopian tube removed. So because of that, the estrogen dropped even more. So I watched my health decline. I gained over 100 pounds. I developed high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, all these things, right? And eventually I weighed over 100 or 300 pounds. Not only did I feel disconnected from myself, but I spent years being everything to everyone else: a wife, a mother, a counselor, a pastor, a coach, a mentor, a grandmother, a Mimi, right? But I had forgotten simply who Shantell was. And so healing wasn't one decision. It became a lifestyle for me. That's why Training for Life, my company, exists today. So the truth that nobody tells us about menopause, I'm just going to lay it all out there, right? If you've been feeling exhausted, if you've been feeling anxiety, anxious, forgetfulness, emotional, if you gain weight around your midsection, that means belly, hips, thighs, bun, all of it. Waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning, wide awake, soaking wet from sweat, and fanning the fan and the air going is just not enough. You're throwing covers. You're ready to throw the person that's in the bed with you out the bed because you're like, look, okay. And sometimes I have waken up and jumped up out of the bed because I was so hot. I felt like I was just about to melt, right? If you can understand or agree, you can just put a one there or just say yes. Okay. But I'm telling you, we've all been there. And in us being there, we have to remember two things, right? Two things. And when I say remember them, I'm not saying that this is something that you have to etch into your mind, but it's something that you have to log, right? You're not the only one. You're not growing through this alone. You have not been forgotten. If you've been feeling disconnected from your husband, from yourself, right? From your partner, feeling like you're in a bad episode of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, wondering who you've become now, right? You're not failing. You're not. You're changing. And guess what? Change is the one thing that is consistent throughout this life, right? We know we're going to change. Perimenopause and menopause affects us far more than our reproductive systems. There is, how can I say this? I want to say this really nicely. Every system in your body has receptors waiting to receive estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Every system in our body. And so when the estrogen level drops, guess what happens? Every single system in our body responds. Whether you're talking about your brain, your muscles, your bones, your metabolism, your sleep, your emotions, even your nervous system. Every system in your body is looking for the estrogen. This is a weakness. This is biology, right? So here's the encouraging news. Biology can be supported throughout this system and this process. And so while we're supporting our bodies through menopause, guess what? There's some things that you can do to help. But let me break down what's really happening inside your body so you can understand it. One of our biggest misconceptions as women, sorry, the computer fell. I meant the phone fell. And please forgive for those who are joining me. Know that this is one of my first, well, this is my second video. So I just need you to know that I'm doing the best I can with what I have, right? We're showing up though. That's what we're doing. So here's the truth. The misconceptions that we receive as women is that suddenly your body turns against us. But can I tell you something? The truth is your body isn't working against you. It's adapting to one of the most significant hormonal transitions that you'll ever experience after puberty. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, just give me a one in the chat. For those of you who are on YouTube and who are on Zoom with me, just give me a one in the chat. So now, here's the thing. Perimenopause often begins years before the final menstrual cycle stops. So during this time, hormonal levels, they don't just simply decline in a straight line. They fluctuate because your body is trying to overcompensate. It's trying. Our body is programmed to naturally heal itself. And so that fluctuation is sometimes drastic because it's trying to make it's trying to level things off. So some days our progesterone is high and the estrogen's low. And so our body tries to overcompensate. So 1 month, your estrogen may be relatively high. The next, it may drop significantly. These fluctuations can literally contribute to the symptoms that seem unpredictable within us. Make you feel like, what is going on? The brain fog becomes way too much. We have so many things that are happening internally, and we feel like we are just not ourselves anymore. If you can relate, just give me a 4. 4 is my number. So just give me a 4 in the chat if you can relate. If you can relate. So here's the other part to this. With these fluctuations, the estrogen, the progesterone, and the testosterone, right? Those levels change in our body. Almost every single system in the body is affected by those changes. The receptors are found throughout the brain, the heart, the bones, the muscles, the joints, the blood vessels, the skin, even your digestive tract. So that's why menopause isn't simply a reproductive event. It's a whole body transition. And we're not treated like that. You can't go to your primary care physician and tell them that you're experiencing these hot flashes and night sweats, because what they're going to tell you, you might want to make an appointment with your OB. I'm grateful that my primary care, she was like, listen, let me just give you a prescription for like 3 months of some HRT, some estrogen, to see how it affects you, because you've been in this stage for a very long time and you have many more years to go. So I was like, okay, but not everyone's doctor is like that, right? So why you feel so different? Let's talk about that part. And please know that these are some questions that came up. So many women are saying, I don't recognize myself anymore, whether when you're looking in the mirror or when you're trying on your clothes, or simply just how you respond to news that you get, or a situation that happens, right? That's because the changes that you're experiencing aren't just physical. They're neurological. It's metabolic. It's muscular skeletal. It's emotional. It's hormonal. It's even spiritual. Your body is asking for new ways of living. And some of us don't have new techniques. Matter of fact, we were just getting comfortable with the ways we had to come up with to survive at that point, right? The brain and estrogen. Estrogen plays an important role in supporting brain function, including your memory. That's why you have brain fog, learning, mood regulations, and mental clarity. Listen, as estrogen fluctuates and eventually declines, many women notice that brain fog, forgetfulness, difficulty concentrating, trouble finding the right words, right? You've always been articulate. You've always been able to verbalize what you're feeling, what you're seeing. Now you can't even string two sentences together without stuttering and stumbling over a word, right? Increased anxiety. You're like, I never even suffered with anxiety. I didn't suffer with depression. What is this? The mood changes. You're trying to figure out, am I going crazy or what is this? And some of you will actually go and see a psychiatrist because you're like, something is really wrong with me. These experiences are common during menopause and the transition, but they should never be dismissed or minimized. If symptoms become severe, persist, or interfere with daily life, guess what? It's important for you to seek evaluations from qualified, keyword, qualified. And if you're in the US, you know that's very tricky. Qualified healthcare professionals that rule out other medical or mental health conditions. And let me be honest with you, it's not easy to find them. And when you find a good one, you better stick with them. Okay? So now here's the thing, it's not just in the mind, your sleep. One of the first things that many women notice is the disruption in your sleep. And if you still have a job to get up and go to every morning, that sleep disruption becomes life altering, right? Waking up between 2 and 4 a.m. Have difficulty falling asleep. You wake up feeling exhausted despite spending enough time in bed, right? You're laying there looking at the ceiling, listening to your spouse snore. You get so tired of sitting there and not being able to fall asleep, you will turn on the TV, pick up the phone. Now you're really disrupted because you turn on some light or put light into the process. And now, guess what? Your melatonin has decreased in your body. You start taking melatonin gel, gummies, or whatever. You increase your magnesium glycinate, all these things to try to increase this quality of your sleep. You wake up feeling exhausted despite spending that time. You have the night sweats, the hot flash that certainly interrupt your sleep, right? And if you're like me, you found a comfortable way. You have that one foot out that's sort of like the thermometer. It kind of regulates how the temperature's feeling, right? But stress, anxiety, and even your nervous system activations can also make restorative sleep, more difficult. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say the nervous system, when I say your fight, flight, freeze, fawn mode, all of those is connected to your nervous system. And so your body reacts differently. And so when sleep suffers, everything else becomes harder because now you're waking up. Your energy is decreased. Your cravings have increased. Yes, your cravings. You start craving salty foods, sweet things, because your body's trying to figure out what can I do to replenish what I did not get restored in sleep. Patience become thinner. For those who are parents and had children late, I pray for you. I pray with you. Um, Recovery slows. You try to do a workout and it takes forever and you feel exhausted, even more exhausted, where normally it will give you energy. No, memory declines. This is one reason why sleep should be viewed as a foundation for healing rather than a luxury, right? So I always say this, we want to shift our mindset. So I want you to repeat after me for just a second. Say, my body is communicating with me. My body is worthy of care. I can learn a new way. Take a deep breath right there. And whenever I say take a deep breath, those who've been with me, you know, we breathe in our nose to the count of 4, hold it at the top to the count of 4, and breathe out your mouth to the count of 6. As you're doing this, I want you to remember this. Breath is something vital. And when people challenge me on that, I say, how long can you go without eating? You can go sometimes up to 14 days without eating before it truly, truly affects the body, right? And breaks down some stuff. You can go 3, 4 days without water. How long can you go without air? Go ahead, I'll wait for it. And so breath work is vital to the body. So just remember, when you feel anxiety, when you feel that forgetfulness, when you feel like you're getting frustrated with yourself because you're just tired and you're trying to function and you're trying to push through, and you all can actually meet your heartbeats for me if you like. I'd appreciate it if you do. But when you're doing these things, stop for a minute, pause, take a deep breath, inhale, hold it at the top, and breathe out your mouth. Doing this will give your body just a few moments to actually start to try to regulate again, reminding it I am safe, right? So let's talk about moving to heal. Let's get it out of our head and into our bodies. That's the beautiful thing, right? Try neck releases. If you take your neck and slowly tilt it one ear to one shoulder, right? Hold it there for a few seconds. Breathe in your nose. Hold it at the top. Breathe out your mouth. Lift your head up. We're going to go to the other side. Tilting over, taking a deep breath in your nose. Hold it at the top. Breathe out your mouth. Do you feel that? Your body needs to know that you're safe, that it's okay to relax, right? You can do shoulder rolls. Remember, we were kids, they take us outside and would tell us to do shoulder rolls, and we would have the arm rolls and all that. All of those things are to help your body release tension, release stress, right? Because our body remembers, it carries the stress, the tension, the tiredness, the fatigue that you've been feeling. It carries it all. You can do chest openers, taking one arm back as far as you can, bringing it back around, taking it out as far as you can, bringing it back around. All of these movements help your body to know that you're safe, that you're okay. Because movement is not punishment, movement is medicine. And if you hang around me, I'm going to always encourage you. Go for a walk, 10, 15-minute walk. If you don't know nothing else, go stand on the vibration plate for 10, 20 minutes. Get moving, get the body moving, right? Breath work, placing that one hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach, right? And as you place that hand there, remember the hand that's on the stomach, that's the one you want to raise first. So when you take a breath in your nose, We're talking about deep belly breaths, right? Your stomach goes out, not your chest go up. Holding at the top and then breathing out your mouth. And you feel the stomach go back in. Those deep breaths, doing 5 to 10 cycles of those, it literally lets your body know that I'm safe, that it's okay, right? Please forgive me, I need to drink a little water. And so as you do this, remember on the long exhale, you can say something like, I am safe. Peace is my portion. I am healing. Remember, anything you say behind I am, that's a promise, right? It's an affirmation, it's a declaration, right? Here we practice the Dick method. We declare, we decree, we instruct, and we command. We always move in the power, the dominion, and the authority that was given to us, right? So, why are we concerned about muscle in menopause? I want to talk to you about that because a lot of people don't understand, especially a lot of women don't understand when we say you have to increase the muscles. You have to increase the muscles. You have to do strength training. It matters in this season. So beginning around midlife, mid-30s, right? Women naturally begin losing lean muscle mass unless they intentionally work to maintain it. So muscles is more than just something that helps you to look toned, right? Healthy muscles support blood sugar regulations, metabolic health, balance, mobility, bone health, joint stability, healthy aging. All of this is important because, listen, it is a known scientific fact that if a woman is over the age of 60 and she falls and breaks her hip, even with surgery, it is still recorded and reported that more than 73% of those who have that type of injury after 60, within 1 year of the incident or the surgery, or the surgery, they literally will be on their deathbed because of lack of lean muscle. That's how important muscle mass is in this time and season in our lives. This is why resistance training becomes one of the most valuable forms of exercise during and after menopause. You don't have to become a power lifter. You don't. You don't have to sit there and go to the gym and try to outlift the men. No. But you simply need to challenge your muscles progressively and consistently, at least 3 times a week. 3 times a week. That's all. That may begin with resistance bands. Those resistance bands are amazing, right? Body weight exercises, start there. I always tell you, don't go and start trying to lift 20-pound weights. You may be able to comfortably do it, but you don't want to shock the system. So don't. Start with resistance bands, start with body weight exercises and light dumbbells. Notice I said light, starting with light, right? As your strength improves. So I always tell people, I work out for 3 days and then I rest on the 4th day, right? So after I do 2 cycles of 3 days of working out, resting on the 4th day, now it's a whole week has passed. You've had 6 workouts with that weight and with those bands, right? Now with that, I up it 5 pounds. I up the weight 5 pounds after that. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's how I do it. I don't suggest, you don't have to do what I do, but you figure out what works best for you, right? That may begin. So once you begin with those, you can also notice that your strength is improving, right? You gradually increase the resistance, which helps your muscles and your bones continue to adapt. And strong muscles support strong bones. That's the important thing. You also want to add some creatine into your diet. Creatine is going to ensure that you don't have the sagging skin. It's going to give you one of my remedies and recipes. I love castor oil. No, I don't do like our grandmothers used to do and take a spoon of it. I'm sorry, I'm not putting it in my mouth. However, the largest organ on your body is your skin. I rub castor oil on my face every night, my eyelids, my eyelashes, my eyebrows. At one point, they were thinning. Now they're nice and thick again. My eyelashes are nice and long again. I don't wear falsies. These are mine. And if I take the time to curl them, they actually look like falsies. Why? Because the castor oil, it thickens them, it soothes them, it helps them, it nourishes them during the night while I'm sleeping, right? So now let's talk about bone health real quick. As estrogen declines, bones turnover, how can I say it? It accelerates. And when I say bone turnover, I'm meaning the bones can be, they can lose some of their strength faster than it's being rebuilt. And because it's losing that structure faster, then guess what happens? They become brittle. So you have to do what needs to be done to increase it, which that means you need to um, add vitamin D to your diet. You need to eat calcium rich foods. I'm not big on taking a lot of supplements, but I do tell you if you know you need a supplement, find one that is closest to the natural state and form. Vitamin D is something easy. We're in the summertime, the sun is out. Get up 10 to 15 minutes in the morning sun and stare at the sun. Gaze at the sun. I know they told you to don't look at it because it's bad for you. That is a whole lie. I'm going to tell you the whole truth, okay? Even if it hurts. Looking at the sun will help strengthen your eyes. On top of that, what else I do, because my prescription for my glasses has not changed or altered in over 5.5 years. And I've been in glasses since I was 9 years old. And my doctor asked me, what are you doing? I started putting Hemaretto honey in my eyes, one drop each eye once a day. Hemaretto honey. It's a stingless bee out of South America. If you don't know about it, find out about it. But guess what? Get you some. I tell people if it's from South America, I'm not buying the Hemaretto honey bottle that has Hemaretto written out in English. I need it to be in Spanish. Why? Because then I know it actually came from there. Let's just do a little bit of work, right? Okay, so now let's keep going. Many women don't know how low bone density, how their bone density is low or high or normal, whatever, until you get a test done. So don't be afraid to ask your doctors for that test. Get the bone density test so you'll know where you stand and you'll know how serious or how in depth you need to dive down this rabbit hole. Strength training, adequate dietary proteins. People sit here and tell me all day long, I need to eat my meat, I need to eat my protein. That same animal that was killed to give you protein got their protein from eating vegetables. You need amino acids to build protein. Your body will create and turn those amino acids into proteins, but you need to get the right amino acids. You need the calcium rich food. You need the vitamin D. You need regular weight bearing activities for it to all work together to help support your bone health, right? I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I just know that I've been vegan now for 3 years. And in this 3 year time, my muscle mass has increased. That bum knee that I used to have has decreased. The pain, the throbbing that I used to get. I rub the castor oil on it every night. Yes, just in case. And I still do my squats. I still do my lunges. I still do all of those things to make sure that I am taking care of myself. I need for you to understand that you are important. And guess what? You are the only you that you have. You're going to be with you throughout the duration of this lifetime. So you might want to start making sure that you're increasing your odds of being the healthiest version of you. I have 7 grandchildren. I have 6 grandsons and 1 granddaughter. And out of those 6 grandsons, can I tell you, I have to make sure that I can get on the floor, that I can help them climb fences and trees, that I can go out there and run like crazy in an open field with them, that I can teach them how to throw a tight spiral like I taught my sons, so that all of these things that I want to do as a Mimi, right, that I can do it. I don't want to give my grandchildren excuses. I want to give them me. I want to give them my knowledge. I want to give them my free spirit. I want to give them my joy and love of sports and activities. But what does that mean? That means I have to get out there and do it with them, right? So let's talk about metabolism really quickly. Men and women become frustrated because they continue eating the same way they did 10 years before, right? Yet the weight continues to increase, and especially around the abdomen. This isn't simply your willpower. Hormonal changes can often affect where fat is stored in the body, how efficiently the body uses your glucose, that's sugar, right? And overall energy expenditures. So I need for you to understand that stress, poor sleep, low muscle mass, and inactivity can compound these changes. Rather than drastically restricting your calories, which is never good, especially going into menopause, it's never good, okay? I want you to focus on nourishing the body with adequate proteins, fiber-rich vegetables, fruits, right? Healthy fats, hydration. Don't just drink the water. I put LMNT in my water. Some of you might not know what that is. Go look it up. L as in Lincoln, M as in Mary, N as in Nancy, T as in Tom, LMNT. You can go on Amazon and order about a 30-day box, 30-day supply, and just put one packet a day in your water. Or you can go the simple route. I also have a mason jar filled with just spring water and pink Himalayan sea salt and Celtic salt. You need to have enough salt in the water that once it all settles, you can see salt crystals at the bottom of the water. Why? Because that every time you drink water, our water doesn't have the nutrients and minerals that it used to have in it. So you have to make sure that you're replacing them and not just rinsing minerals and nutrients that are necessary and needed in the body out of the body. So at least twice a day, I'll either do the LMNT once a day, and then I'll do in the morning with my okra water, I will do the sodium water that I have. That's to make sure that my body is getting those trace minerals and nutrients. Sometimes I'll do sea moss for like 2 months, and then I'll do moringa powder for a couple of months, and then I alternate them. Sometimes I take them together, but I found it to be too much for me. I'm different than everybody else. Find out what works for you, right? But the goal is not to eat less. The goal is to make sure that you have the nourishment that you need. The goal is to fuel your body wisely. Let's talk about inflammation. And trust me, I'm rounding up, but I just want to make sure that I give you the necessities, the lowdown, the absolute information that you need, because this is my area. And I want you to understand that there's someone out here who cares about you, someone who wants to make sure that you're getting what you need and that help is available, right? So let's talk about inflammation really quickly, because some of us in menopause, we get that, what do they call it? That frozen shoulder. Yes. So as hormones change, some women notice the increased joint discomfort, stiffness, bloating, or slower recovery after exercise. While inflammation is normal, right? It's a part of the body healing responses. So it's normal. Chronic low-grade inflammation can contribute to discomfort and may be influenced or increased by the lack of sleep, increased stress, low nutrients, low physical activity, and certain health conditions. So let me break this down to you. I get that the bum shoulder hurts, but rubbing castor oil on it with some frankincense and myrrh oil, right? The castor oil is going to be the carrier, because castor oil is the only oil that will penetrate the epidermis, go all the way through your organs and all of the muscle down to your bone. So castor oil is the carrier. You want to get that frankincense and myrrh oil so they can get down there, lubricate, and start to bring healing and reduce the inflammation. You also want to increase your turmeric intake. Turmeric works better when the curcumin that's in the turmeric is activated by black pepper. So you also want to add a dash of black pepper and turmeric. I put that in my tea. I put that in my food. I put it in my soups. I put it in my, listen, I make my own immune boost shots. And that literally is ginger, turmeric, black pepper, cayenne pepper. What else? I used to put pineapple in there as well. I take my coconut water and I will put it and steep it, or I'll let some hot hibiscus leaf sit in there with it before I pour it over into there and mix it all together. And I do that because the immune boost shots do just that. It helps reduce the inflammation. Boom, first thing in the morning, a nice 2-ounce shot of it. It's going to reduce that inflammation. It's going to wake up the digestive system. It's going to get some stuff moving, the phlegm moving in the body that's been settled after overnight. It's going to cause your body to say, hey, it's morning time. And then you get out in the morning sun for like 10 to 15 minutes. You're doing amazing things for your body and you're giving it some tools to work with, right? But here's this. An anti-inflammatory lifestyle may include colorful fruits and vegetables. The more color, the more enzymes, the more proteins, the more fibers in it, so that you can actually begin to feel the difference. I've been eating foods that I had never eaten as a child. Why? Because I'm experimenting. I'm finding out what all works for me. Healthy fats. I love avocados, especially in a smoothie, but I've gotten to where the avocado toast is amazing, right? Adequate protein. You can get your proteins from your lentils. You can get it from your vegetables. You can get it from chia seeds. You don't have to just eat meat to get proteins. Adequate movement, regular movement. Movement is medicine. Stress management. If you're feeling stressed, I promise you, if you go take a 15-minute walk outside, and if you don't have time to do a 15-minute walk, take your shoes off and stand in the grass for 5 minutes. Your stress will drastically decrease. Get you some grounding mats as well. Restorative sleep. If you're having trouble sleeping, I'm not saying that you need to go and get some melatonin or you need to go and get some magnesium glycinate, but I would definitely say you need to get you a magnesium supplement that supports your healthy sleep regimen. Okay? I can give you some tips, but I promise you, find out what works best for you and your body, right? Let's talk about your nervous system really quickly. Many women think that every symptom is caused by hormones alone. Hormones are certainly part of the picture, but they don't act in isolation. Your nervous system, your sleep, your stress levels, your nutrients, your relationships, your movement, even your thought patterns are all influenced on how you experience this transition. Notice I'm not saying it's something bad. It's just part of life, right? So healing is rarely about one magic supplement or one perfect workout. We didn't gain the weight overnight. We're not going to lose it overnight. Our hair didn't start thinning overnight. So it's not going to grow back overnight, right? It's about creating an environment where the body feels safe, supported, and well cared for. That's why I encourage you. We don't chase symptoms. We look beneath them to the root, right? We support the whole woman, mind, body, and spirit, because lasting transformation happens when we address the root, not just the results, right? So start where you are. Resistance bands, body weight, light dumbbells, then gradually increase to challenge your body to adapt, right? Strength is built over time, not overnight. You're not trying to become a bodybuilder. You're building a body that serves you well for decades to come. That's what we're doing. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, let me see some hearts. Let me see some ones in a comment. Right. Thank you. So lifestyle comes first. Herbs are supporters, not substitutes. I'm going to always tell you about the herbs, right? So there isn't one herb that can replenish everything that you're dealing with, like quality sleep, your nutrients, your movement, your stress management, your adequate protein intake, your healthy relationships. Herbs work best when they're a part of a holistic approach that supports your body's natural ability to adapt and function well. Think of herbs as members of your wellness team, right? They can provide support, but they aren't meant to carry the entire load. So I'm going to give you just two of my favorite. My first one is stinging nettle. I've told some of you all about it before that you've been with me, but let's talk about it. Stinging nettle is considered a deeply nourishing herb because it's naturally rich in minerals such as magnesium, calcium, potassium, and iron. Did you catch that? So these nutrients support many normal body functions, including the muscles, the nervous functions, bone health, and overall vitality. So many women don't necessarily need more stimulation, they need nourishment. Nettle is one way that you can get that. That nourishes the body alongside a balanced diet rich in whole foods. And some of you won't believe me if I told you, but most of my meals are raw. I do try to do one cooked meal a day, but most of my meals are raw. So remember this foundation. And the other one is lemon balm. I told you I was going to give you two. Lemon balm. So this herb, I appreciate it and I love it. So lemon balm has been traditionally used for centuries to promote relaxation and support a healthy response to occasional stress. How many of us experience an occasional stress? Thank you. Right. So many women feel it especially comforting in the evening. I usually have a cup of tea with some lemon balm, some nettle. I'll do some ashwagandha in it, and a little bit of sometimes I don't always use it, so I'm not even going to talk about it. But you find what works for you, because certain tastes and flavors I'm not particularly keen to or like, so I don't like some of the common ones, right? But if it works for you, use what works for you, right? So now here's the thing that I want you to understand. In the evening, when you experience that restlessness, when you have those racing thoughts, or it's difficult to just wind down and exhale and settle down for the night, guess what? Lemon balm will be your friend. So while it isn't a sleeping pill, it creates a calming nighttime ritual with lemon balm tea that can complement healthy sleep habits. Like I usually do a light walk in the evenings after dinner to sort of help support my body unwinding, getting from in front of a computer screen, getting away from my phone screen, right? This helps signal to the body that it's approaching time to rest, right? So remember this, no herb can outwork chronic stress. It can't. No supplement can replace adequate protein. No tea can make up for 5 hours of sleep. No tincture can overcome a sedentary lifestyle. Healing is built on daily habits that are practiced consistently. If you watch my Grand Rising post, I talk to you about consistency, discipline, intention. Why? Because we have to be intentional about achieving the disciplined and consistent life of healthy living. That's whether you're building a business, whether you're building a healthy lifestyle, a healthy relationship, healthy children, all of it plays a part, right? Right. So we focus on supporting the whole woman through nutrition, movement, restorative sleep, nervous system regulation, emotional healing, spiritual wellness, and evidence-informed herbal support. That's where lasting transformation not only begins, but that's where you can rest your head at, right? So here's a word of wisdom, and I'm rounding up, right? Every natural herb, it can interact with medications. So this is why I tell you all, go to someone who is knowledgeable. Don't just go out there and start buying some herbs, please. And I need for you to understand, sometimes it may not be appropriate for every health condition. So always consult an herbalist a healthcare provider or a pharmacist before adding herbs and supplements to your routine, especially if you're pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, if you're managing chronic medical conditions, or if you're taking prescription medications. It's vital. Remember, our goal is simply, it's not simply to just manage the symptoms, but it's actually to help us develop a lifestyle that gives us the support we need through this transition. Does that make sense to everybody? So our goal is to help the body function as optimal as possible so that we can move through this season with greater strength, with greater confidence, and with vitality. Your body was designed to heal, but it also needs the right environment to do what it was created to do. You are the person who sets that environment. So let's talk really quickly about detoxing to support the body. Your body already has remarkable detoxification systems. Your lymphatic system is a beautiful, beautiful thing, right? But we can support it by doing this, drinking enough water. I always speak to my water. I give my water an assignment. Some of you see my water. I have whole cloves in here. I have some slices of ginger root in here. I have a couple of slices of pineapple in here. I had some melons this morning, so some juice from my melons are in here. And I talk to my water. If life and death are in the power of the tongue, give your water an assignment. Tell your water, go into my body, hydrate every single cell, wash out every part of the cell that is dying or that is no longer serving me. Any toxins, any parasites, wash them out and take it out with you. Give your water an assignment. Give your food an assignment. Don't just ingest things. Don't just say a prayer, thank you, Lord, for the food we're about to receive. No, give your water, give your food an assignment. Did you know that your body is tuned to the frequency of your voice better than it's tuned to the frequency of anyone else's voice in the world? I may speak something and encourage you, but your voice can speak something and heal you. So start speaking to your body. There's a little song that I learned and I say it every single day because I'm speaking to my body. Really simple. Every little cell inside my body, every little cell is happy and well. Every little cell inside my body, every little cell is happy and well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body's happy and well. I know you've seen the videos. I know you've seen it on social media. Start singing to your body. Speak to it. Declare and decree, instruct and command it to do what you need it to do for you, right? So movement daily, it's medicine. Sleeping well, meaning turn off the lights in the bedroom, turn off the TV, take the TV out the room if it's keeping you awake. Take your cell phone and your tablets, don't charge them by your bed. Charge them in the closet if you need the phone near you and you need to hear it if an emergency rings, like if you have parents in the hospital or a child that is going through some things, right? You can do those things, but don't have it near your head or your bed while you're resting. Sweating through appropriate exercises. We need to push ourselves so that in our exercise regimen, and I'm not saying work out for an hour. I literally work out for 30 to 40 minutes, and that's only because 20 minutes of it is spent on the vibration plate, right? So the other 20, I'm working out hard enough that if I have to try to talk, that I'm winded while I'm trying to talk through the workout. Does that make sense? Right. Okay. Supporting healthy digestion and regular bowel movements. That's where your fiber comes in at. Soluble fiber. That's why I encourage people drink the okra water. Some people are like, what it tastes like. I'm at a stage and age in my life. I'm 53. I don't care what it tastes like. I care about the benefits. So if you tell me that I need to take some okra water, I'm gonna add my extra stuff in there. So yeah, my okra water looks like some slimy, muddy, whatever. Because I have the purple, I have the blue spirulina in there. I have my moringa powder in there. I have my chia seeds and flax seeds in there for extra protein, for extra fiber in there, soluble fiber. And I do the milled flax seeds, not just whole flax seeds, because whole flax seeds do not digest in the body. But I put all that in there and I drink it. I don't care what it tastes like. At this point, I'm literally trying to get the benefits. My body needs the benefits of it. I worry about taste on the back end. I can sip some water to make sure that it is good on the back end, right? And so with that being said, and my phone is asking me for something and right now, so I'm trying to do that while we're doing this. Okay, so let's talk about renewing our mind though, because I don't want you to underestimate the basics. And simple, consistent habits often create the biggest changes in our lives, right? So renewing your mind throughout this process, many women tell themselves, I'm getting old. No, you're not. Don't say that to yourself. I'm getting better, right? Some people say something in my body is broken. No, it's not. It's not broken. This is regular. This is normal. We just hadn't been talking about it. It hasn't been something that was talked about. So guess what? We're normalizing it now, right? Some people even say something like, it'll never feel better. Speak that to yourself. I call crop failure on those words. Why? Because you have to begin to speak life so that you'll have life, right? So ask yourself this and say it. Is that thought helping me heal? Before you say it, ask, is it helping me heal? Replace it with a truth. My body is changing and I can learn how to support it through the change. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. My best years are not behind me, they're in front of me. Think about this. Romans 12:2 tells us, and it reminds us, transform your mind daily, right? Renew our minds. So if we're renewing our minds, healing starts with the stories that we tell ourselves internally, that internal dialogue. It means something and it matters. So here's the thing I want you to remember. Ladies, men, if you're here, because guess what? Every last one of you men that are here, you have a mother, a grandmother, a sister, an aunt, a cousin, some woman that you love, right? A wife, a significant other, some woman that you love is going to endure this. Stop apologizing for needing to rest. Stop wearing exhaustion like it's a badge of honor. The world applauds burnout, but God honors stewardship. You cannot pour from an empty vessel. Take care of yourself. Taking care of yourself isn't selfishness. It is mandatory. It's obedience. I tell people, imagine your life as a fine china mug, right? With a beautiful plate up under the saucer. You should be filled to the overflow. And everything that's caught in your saucer, that's where you pour out to every person that you want to serve. When the saucer is empty, guess what? You have nothing else to pour out. And you go back and get refilled. Why? Because if you continue to pour out of your mug, out of your coffee cup, out of your fine china mug, guess what? You'll get emptied. And those who you're serving will continue to keep asking for more and more and more, and you'll have nothing to give from. And you'll be dry and on the brink of breakdown and brokenness, and no one will come to your rescue like you come to theirs. Okay? So I want you to write this down. What is one habit that you have been keeping that is keeping you stuck in this mindset? I want you to just write one new commitment that you'll make to yourself about what you're going to do differently in this coming week. Remember, it's the small changes that are practiced consistently that create lasting transformation. So I'm going to just get ready to close us out. And I just want to say, Father, we thank you for reminding us that our bodies are not our enemies. Give us wisdom to care for ourselves with grace instead of guilt. Help us to embrace this season of courage, knowledge, and faith. Strengthen every woman and every man that is present here today to hear this information. Renew their bodies, renew their minds, renew their spirits. May They leave here knowing that they are loved, that they're valuable, that they're capable of thriving in your name, Yeshua. And it is so. And so today's teaching resonated with you. Don't stop here, right? Healing happens through consistent actions and community. If you're ready to have a personalized support system, then I'd love to walk with you through this journey. Training for Life is my company. And whether you're navigating perimenopause, menopause or postmenopause, burnout, identity shifts, or simply ready to reclaim your health and confidence, there's a place right here for you. If you know somewhere else, go there. But I want you to find someone that resonates with you. My voice may not satisfy that itch in your deep down in your soul. My demeanor, my passion may be overwhelming or too much for you. I don't take that personal. I want you to find someone that you can relate to, that it resonates with you and in you, so that you can get what you need the way you need it. That's the most important thing. You're not broken, you're becoming. And here, we don't just help women manage symptoms, right? We help women heal deeply, transform completely, and step boldly into their next chapter. So I thank you all for joining me. I'm going to end the recording and I'm going to come off of TikTok, but I want you all to know that you can follow me, you can DM me, and just know that you're not alone in this journey. I do a live Q&A session after this. So for those who are live in Zoom with me, they get an opportunity to do the live Q&A. You can go to my Facebook page or my LinkedIn page, and you'll find the link to the Zoom. But the live Q&A will be for the next 30 minutes if you want to join me. I love you all to life. My greatest desire is for each of us to heal at the root, and that the fruit of our lives be enough to not just replenish us,